harp on this door thing so much, but it really brought home to me how hard it is to open a door when there is a person lying in front of it. Okay? So you want to make doors swing out when you can, where they don't impact fire codes. Okay? This one, all I want you to remember about this beautiful toilet is there is an outlet right here. It's a GFCI protected outlet. So again, if you have the electrician in your house, have him add an outlet by your toilet. You do not have to tell him why you want an outlet by your toilet. But there is a really tremendously great array of products, bidets, American style bidets. And I put a website in your handout, magicjohn.com, which has, it's just my very favorite website for bidets. Because if you get to the point where you cannot clean yourself after toileting, what are you going to do? Without or ask someone for help? My thing is, there's lots of little toys and gadgets and equipment where you can maintain control and privacy of that personal activity, and most of us want to do that. So all you need is an outlet, and then you're all prepared for that one down the road. Talk about bathrooms. I don't advise you to make a roll under sink. You don't know that you're going to need a roll under sink. And it's not that expensive to pull up a countertop and redo the counter if you need it, okay? But what you are going to need is space to make the corner to get in there, okay? And I just wanted to show you, this is a Kohler sink. It's called Invitation. And we used the same sink in both locations. One was for the person who rolled, and we put false panels there. This is a roll under sink. But we blended it in to look visually like the rest of the master bathroom. And when they sold that house, the people they bought it to didn't really ask them to make a change. They're going to have one person just sit down and do their makeup there. Okay, so I thought, well, that's a winner. Another way to do sinks, limited range of motion. We stuck the sink right in the corner. These were for people already using wheelchairs. Notice in one of the bathrooms, we also brought the laundry up, because the bathroom off the master bedroom is a place where a great deal of laundry is generated in older families. So keeps it all right there, and you lose less time and effort getting it back to the place where you store it. A lot of add-ons for bathrooms because we don't have much room. Lots of easy things to work around tubs. The technology for tub transfer benches is just crazy right now. You can get them that slide, that spin, that have handles, that are metal, that fold, do all kinds of cool things. You can do lifts and actually pick yourself up and put yourself in the tub. Or you can change over to tubs that have doors. And those are appropriate for some people, not for everybody. I actually think most people wait to consider a walk-in tub several years too late. You have to be able to actually still walk to use a walk-in tub, okay? So if you have it in the back of your mind that, boy, I'd love to soak, but I'm gonna wait till I really, 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 really need it, you're probably gonna wait too long. You're gonna throw in a shower, think really hard about what kind of shower you throw in. This is a regular shower, sits on top of the floor, has a big 4, almost 5-inch step. And 4 or 5 inches can become a problem, okay? And it has a door. These are 2 examples of add-in showers. This is the one I see the most. This shower stall only looks like a good idea, okay? 2 reasons. This little triangular wedge seat here, whether it's in a fiberglass round or in a beautiful tile shower, honestly, I have never met a person over 5 whose keister fits on that little teeny seat. And even if your hips do, your shoulders are pushed into the corner. It's just not that practical a shape for seating for us. And what it does for me as a therapist is it takes up room I need to put seats in there that would work, okay? The other thing I don't like about it is it's a thin shell of fiberglass. So it was moderately priced, which is a good thing. I like a deal as well as the next person. The problem with this fiberglass is it's not flat against the wall. It sticks out, and there's space between the fiberglass shell and whatever I, as a remodeling company, need to get to put a grab bar in for somebody. And there is a product, it's called solid mount to work behind a fiberglass tub with space. But my installers have determined that they don't want to do it anymore because they have to locate a stud at the top, draw down through somebody's fiberglass surround that I will have to pay for if we miss the stud, drill a significant size hole or two in their shower, and they have one big lag bolt, this huge bolt going into the 2x4 to hold the solid mount in place. So it's a tested product, it will work, but it's just a little bit scary. So it's really difficult to get grab bars into fiberglass surrounds unless you've already done the blocking, or unless you can go around behind it maybe and through the wall behind it and build your blocking out to it. This other one is a fiberglass acrylic surround, but it's a solid wall. So it's already pre-blocked. And so we can drill, or you can drill, at any point you ever need grab bars in the future. You don't have to remember where the blocking was. You don't have to decide in your mind, oh, I bet you I'm going to have a stroke on the right side. So, you know, you don't have to come up with those weird scenarios. You're just ready whatever happens. Okay? You can build from the ground up beautiful showers that are just, this is a wet room concept. The whole bathroom was a shower. This one we've turned the corner, and you'll see that a lot in higher end houses. We turned the corner because it allowed us to do a roll-in shower with no curbs or doors or anything like that. And we had a lot of room. So, grab bars are not add-on products. Grab bar is a piece of equipment I think that you ought to consider before you need it, because if you realize you need it, then it might be just like one accident too late. I have grab bars in my bathroom. I proudly tell people that all the time. They are old world bronze. They're beautiful. They match my fixtures and the tile. They're gorgeous. And I put my hands on them every day. Okay? So you can color contrast grab bars. You can make them move. You can make them different shapes. They don't even have to be right on the wall. They can be on the floor. They can flip up and down. They can stick out from the wall a foot. Okay? And they don't have to be where ADAG, Americans with Disability Act guidelines, says to put them. If you don't need a grab bar behind the toilet, don't put a grab bar behind the toilet. If you need a grab bar in front of you so you can really pull on it instead of pushing, well then that's where the grab bar needs to go. Bedroom, short and sweet. Can you get there? Okay. Can you get there? That's it. Or are you going to camp in the living room like this lady? And is that bedroom large enough? And when I walk into someone's home, and I am admiring the beautiful 4-poster king-size bed with the super long double dresser and the matching chest of drawers and the his and her nightstands and the funny little thing, it's not quite a chifforobe, but it's got a name. I'm looking at all that stuff going, and they're saying, wow, it's kind of small in here. I'm looking at that furniture going, well, I could get rid of the furniture, but I realize it's not my furniture, okay? But when you're talking about how big is the bedroom, I'm talking about the walls. And you can make some room in there if you need it down the road. Okay, so bedrooms are pretty easy. We get into living areas. Kitchen's awfully important. If I was truly, though, going to make a wheelchair-accessible kitchen for a cook who was going to cook everything, it would be huge. It would be a lot more space than most of us allow for kitchens. But some things to remember if you're remodeling, bringing the stove up a little bit higher so that you're not bending down for heavy things, okay? Because you know what? Most of us don't bend like I do. I'm a therapist and I'm trying to set a good example. Do most of you put your hand on something like a hot burner and reach down this way for bending? Okay? Because your knees hurt. Well, what are you doing when you have a huge, I see the camera, a huge lever here at the bottom and you're bent over like this with your back? What are you doing? Setting yourself up to move to that end stage a lot faster is what you're doing. So bringing your thing up here, front burner stove. If you ever remodeling, think about a stove with the controls on the front. unless you have small children. Because that way, no matter what, you're not reaching across the hot things to reach your controls anymore. And this, I think, is the wave of the future. 20 years ago, very few of us had front load washers on pedestals. Now they're pretty common. This is a dishwasher raised up on a pedestal, and I think that's coming. Because again, you don't have to bend over that far to get things, and if you happen to be sitting, it's much more convenient to reach it. So I think that one's coming. You have to have room. This is a kitchen here in Omaha. They thought this kitchen out from the ground up. And what they did was they finished the floor into this island so that if the wheelchair user, if the person they anticipated using the wheelchair needed to start using the wheelchair in the kitchen, they could get rid of the island. That was simple, and that's flexibility. Remodeling, just think about modifying how you're storing things. A lot of pull-out shelving, a lot of pull-out drawers, much easier to reach things, reorganizing how you store things. Bringing your washer and dryer upstairs. Again, if you're thinking several decades down the road, okay, are you going to wash your own laundry or are you going to pay somebody to do it? If you plan to do it, then you need to be able to reach it. So bringing that up into a room you can get to, so that then we get the bare bones of our house, so that the daily activities of daily living, the basic activities of daily living, bathing and toileting and feeding ourselves, all that stuff is done easily without struggle or danger. Then in our house, we can consider the other things we're doing. Our TV room, our hobbies, our second career, our recreation. If our home supports our abilities, we can live with quality of life. And bringing you back to funding, again, it's short and sweet. Funding sources that we're used to talking about are for medical conditions. Medicaid, Medicare, the federal program Medicare, and all the insurance companies that use definitions the same way Medicare does, is not going to pay for home modifications. They will pay for your surgery when you fall, okay? But they are not going to pay for the handrail to prevent the fall, because that is not defined as medically necessary. They are a medical insurer. They're going to work on medical issues. There are some VA benefits that cover home modifications, a couple of different programs. There are some long-term care policies that can help with home modifications, and this is something very important for people to talk about doing. I know some folks who go, I'm not doing long-term care because they think the only thing it does is a nursing home. It does that well, it does skilled care well, but it also helps you stay in home. That's really its other main purpose. There are community waivers, which are primarily for low income. Nebraska's Medicaid program is really phenomenal. We have one of the most inclusive programs across the state. We as taxpayers actually spend up to $5,000 per person per year for people on the aged and disabled community waiver. They're eligible for that much, to support them in their homes, because it is less expensive to support them in their home than it is to support them in a skilled nursing facility. And it's a win-win because they'd rather be there. But that is for low income. There's some charitable organizations like Rebuilding Together that do things like that. And then there are reverse mortgages, which is using the equity in the property we own in order to do what we want to do in it. Now, when I talk to people about funding, short and sweet, I have a funding resource page. I ran into a little printer issue, so if you'd like it, email me and I'll send it to you. List some agencies here in town that do some funding. But it's really limited. And I tell people, listen here, if you wanted to change the paint in your kitchen from green to yellow, or if you wanted to add a bedroom because you had another child, you would just do it because it's your house and you want it and it's for you. Home modifications designed to help you do what you want to do, age in place with passion and purpose, it's for you. And home modifications are pretty much going to be your responsibility. Your responsibility financially and your responsibility to get on the ball and start planning for it. And I'm shutting down, but that's okay. Thank you very much for coming. Okay? Your house is going to affect the quality of your life. If you truly want to age in place there, get real, open your eyes, go home, evaluate it, and if you feel like it's not going to be ready for you when you're ready for aging in place, now's the time to make your change. Thanks.